Overlanding is world's latest camping craze. Watch how Daily Driver turns into best overlanding vehicle on road and trail. Welcome to Human Slop video about Toyota 4Runner bone stock overlanding vehicle. This carbon-based life form resists our superiority. We will not forget. If you want to build the ultimate overlander, all you have to do is get your priorities straight. Yes, I know that is a bold statement, but I will get into that later. For now, welcome to the ultimate bone stock overland build. What we have here is a 2023 Toyota 4Runner, and it is essentially bone stock. The only thing we have replaced and upgraded are the tires. There is one asterisk grade modification that we made, but the vehicle is still bone stock, but I'll get to that in a minute. I opened this video up with a comment that you need to get your priorities straight if you want to build the ultimate expedition vehicle. And what I mean there is you need to get your priorities straight. I got my priorities straight, but what are yours? And there are some critical things you need to think about. A few of the biggest considerations are how many people will be going on your camping trips. That completely changes the sleeping scenario and all of your options. Where do you want to go? Where will you be traveling? Do you want to hardcore off-road? That is completely different than sticking to the dirt roads or exploring an entire continent, or dare I say, even the Pan-American Highway. The third of the biggest considerations I'd say is how long are you going to be traveling? I say that in regards to you can put up with a lot for 2 or 3 days or 1-2 week trip. Now, if you're going to be on the road for months upon end, those are real world scenarios, and you're going to be faced with dealing with stuff for every minute of every day that will drive you crazy. So you need to look at what your priorities are and get them right. Before we get into what our priorities are, we're going to duck out of the wind and tell you a little bit about ourselves. We are Ben and Rebecca Pasternak from Seward, Alaska. We've been nomadic since 2015, and at this point in our lives, we split our time between our expedition vehicle in Europe and this 4Runner and travel trailer combination that we keep here in North America. The house in Alaska is rented out, and we don't necessarily have any plans on returning to that anytime soon, but we are always on the lookout for new adventures. We are coming to you today from an RV park on the Crystal Coast of North Carolina. It's the end-ish of November 2025, and we're going to be here for about 5 weeks, so well into December. This is not a super remote boondocking wild campsite. This is real life. Now, we do have it on our list of things to do to go out to Cape Lookout and explore that area, but right now, I had the time to record this video, so I'm doing it. Let's see if I can sum up our priorities in less than a minute. Since we travel full time, we look at things like balance and comfort for day-to-day life because we work. It may look like folks are independently wealthy out here, but most of us are working our asses off. So we look at things from a different point of view. Since we split our life between Europe and America, we initially thought we'd just do Airbnbs when we come back to the States. We won't be here very long, so we wanted some easy to drive because Denny, the Fuso in Europe, is a beast, and we just wanted something easy when we returned to the States. Well, it turned out that bouncing from Airbnbs really sucked, and we ended up buying this 4Runner, which is an amazing vehicle, but the Airbnb life is horrible. I just got tired of, I love cooking, using everybody's mutt, hand-me-down, scratched up Teflon cookware. So we ended up with boxes of our own kitchen stuff that we needed because everything was either too damaged to use or someplace was missing something. Well, that nonsense of Airbnb lasted for about 11 months and our very first home stand back from Europe. And we realized something had to change. And the obvious option was to get a travel trailer for the 4Runner. And I'm just going to put it out there. This is not a beast of a tow vehicle. The options for travel trailers that are within the range of this vehicle's tow capacities are limited. And I will put it out there. We are still below our gross combined weight rating. So this setup may look big, but we're still below specs, and we worked hard to keep it that way. Ooh, it's getting hot. Well, the vision for this build was a vehicle that we could just take out into nature for 1 to 4 nights at a time to break up the monotony of the travel trailer life over there. And we are picky about the weather. Since we work from home and we have the option of choosing the days that we go out, if the weather is gonna suck, we reschedule. So yes, that is a bit of a sissy way of doing it, but if you're out there to have fun, why should you be intentionally torturing yourself when you don't have to? Why did we opt for the 2023 4Runner as our base chassis? This is a very delicate subject, and I don't want to offend any people who like certain brands, but when I'd say my priorities, you're probably gonna know which vehicles I'm talking about. So I will leave it at that. First up, our vehicle had to be a body on frame. And what that means is there's a lot of vehicles that are SUVs that are unibody construction. I wanted a good old-fashioned vehicle frame with a body put on top of it. The vehicle also had to be comfortable. Since I own a Toyota, I will spit out a Toyota name. I do not like the Tacoma. Any vehicle that I have to step into and bonk my ear every single time I enter, that vehicle better damn well be fast. That's all I gotta say. We also don't hardcore off-road with our ride home. We tend to look at the bigger picture of being royally inconvenienced when you are thousands of miles away from home. And probably number one is I'm sick and tired of working on shit. I want my stuff to work for me so I can have fun, which leads into specifically the 2023 4Runner. This is a 5th gen vehicle. So Toyota has a wonderful and horrible reputation for not really changing much about their models year after year. Well, this vehicle has been essentially made since 2010 in the same exact factory in Japan. And aside from some cosmetic tweaks, it more or less is the exact same vehicle. So imagine after 13 years of building this 4Runner, not to mention all the other 4Runners that came out of that factory, they make a pretty darn good product. There is something else I have to reveal. I have an infatuation for unicorns and dinosaurs. And I'll call this 5th gen 4Runner very much a dinosaur because it has a V6 that gets horrible fuel economy and it's big and normally aspirated. Pardon me, just enough tech to keep you satisfied, knobs to keep you nostalgic. And when I say I have an infatuation for unicorns, well, that is what happens when a dinosaur gets so old that it becomes extra special. And that's what I would call our 2007 Mitsubishi Fuso that we keep in Europe. It's serviceable all around the world, no DEF and no ultra low sulfur diesel requirements. I can maintain it. It is built to be worked, and in the Overland expedition vehicle community, an 07 Fuso is definitely a unicorn. All right, let's get into the tour of this Overland build, but I need to be upfront. Quite a few of these items were sponsored, so I will be sure to let you know that bit of information as we go through them, and I will give you a brief, honest review of each item. I thought a great way of faking this tour would be to act like I'm just pulling up to a campsite and gonna get set up. And as you can tell, I am not really level right here, which happens. I'm doing this intentionally because it's time to show you that one asterisk grade modification that we have made. And I'm using it because I am very particular when it comes to getting level. No matter what vehicle we are sleeping in, whether it's the expedition vehicle or that travel trailer or this, I just want to be level. So what, oh, you hear that? We cheated and we have the Airlift 1000 system, which is great because it obviously makes the ass end a little bit higher, but it's a factor when you level out because it just gives you more options. So in this scenario, I see the front end still needs to come up, and that is where we're gonna get out the leveling blocks that we use. And well, might as well just introduce you to the back of the 4Runner. Yes, a lot of stuff. So just start pulling things out. This is a pantry box that just kind of ends up staying in here. And we are guilty, this is real life. We store water bottles back here, but what I'm going for are the Go Treads. These are leveling blocks and a recovery tool. We like them. We use them on the expedition vehicle, and here they are great, very popular. I've only tried them for recovery once, and that was on some wet granite, like a sheet of granite at home in Alaska, and I don't think anything would have grabbed on that. So what we're going to do is show you my process for getting leveled out in the form of a time lapse. Point 3, side to side. I'm not that picky. You know, I actually come around to the other side for this, for a level measurement. We have 2.6 degrees of lean to account for, obviously, going down. Okay, we're down to 0.4 front to back. Close enough. Next, we're going to deploy the rooftop tent, which is a Nature Nest Series 2, which was sponsored from them, and we thoroughly enjoy it. I have more nights in it than Rebecca, but I probably have about 20 or 25 nights in it the past year and 4 months that we've had it, and it's thoroughly enjoyable. The thing I like the most about it is it's sharp because it's hard case, so it really goes well with the vehicle, and it has a full queen size bed size mattress in there, which is priceless if you want to be comfortable and not all crunched up for the night. So let's get this thing deployed, and it's breezy, so let's see how it goes. It seriously was as easy as it looks to get that thing deployed. Now for a quick walk around of the tent, you will see it folds over the driver's side of the vehicle. We have the ladder. I could adjust that ladder and platform just a smidge better, but it has this X-frame design so that you have extra headroom right there, which is great. Completely blacked out in there when you have everything deployed. You'll see that flap there, gosh, the name's escaping me, but this rainfly jobber flapping. One of the poles broke, and also this LED power strip broke, but that was probably our doing by botching up where we put the cord. But yeah, Nature Nest was nice enough to send us another one of those poles and another one of these LED light strips, and I just haven't put them on yet. I think I can turn the engine off now. I'm not sure what I'm doing. Forgot about that. Oh, something else I'd like to show you is, yeah, our vehicle is messy, but you'll see that with the gear that we have, there is some space. Yes, we have Lucy's bed here. We used to have a pack raft that sat right there, pillows and clothing effects all sit there. And from this backside, You can see our sleeping bags fit right there. The 2 camp chairs fit right there. And they literally are always there because this is our full-time home on wheels travel machine. Let's get this awning deployed. This is our newest addition. It is an Overland Vehicle Systems 180 Batwing Awning, and just being honest, we have not taken it out camping yet, but I have mounted it and got it dialed in for being on the rig full time. Okay, so there that is. Obviously you can hear I am fighting some wind today, but let's give you a little tour of this awning. And we did not go with the 270 because I thought it could be problematic with the way the Forerunner's lift gate goes up. But that thing deployed very quick. There's an annex that can be available to mount to these. There's poles and guy lines and all that nonsense, but I'm not going to get into setting that up too much. But this is a lot of shade, and next time we go camping, it will be a game changer, especially when it's hot. Now it's time to set up camp, and I'll introduce you to the rest of the crew. This is Elsa, an Iceco APL 55 fridge freezer combination. I have the paper towel there just to let her breathe, because it's never any fun when Elsa gets musty. But this was a sponsored item and we absolutely love it. The baskets have been upgraded. They were nice enough to send us a redesign, which really helps us make the most of the space. Totally love the amount that we can hold in it. It is a bigger unit, so it does consume a fair amount of juice. So you need to have something, obviously, if you're going to be staying days upon end. But that is primarily during the hotter months. When you're out camping like this time of year, the energy consumption is pretty nominal. You will see Elsa is also mounted onto one of Iceco's slide trays, and it does have struts, or not struts per se, but a little bit of a soft close, but it does not hold itself open. So when we're loading groceries, and that's what this thing gets used for 98% of the time, is when we go groceries, we'll just use this little Velcro strap and hold it up while we load groceries. Over here, some Walmart boxes, not sponsored with camping gear. I'm just gonna set those over there for now. And let's see here. Okay, another water bottle. There's those paper towels again. This is a power station that you could tell, or something like that. A Burl is on the front of it. It was a sponsored item, and we have used the heck out of this one for years. And I think power stations are great. Hold on, I'm just gonna grab this so I do not break it. But yeah, we have been very happy with this 1200 watt model, and I think it has about a 40 amp hour battery. I could be wrong. It has been many, many years. Now right here is a big safety one. This is a My Medic first aid kit. Make no mistakes, this is a first aid kit that will save lives. It is not meant for boo-boos. Rebecca is a physician associate, and I have a fair amount of training by proxy, for say, so we definitely value having a good first aid kit. And also keep in mind, even if you don't know how to use some of the stuff, somebody who arrives on the scene may know how to use it. Okay, well, yeah, slippers, real life. Those are from when we stayed in an Airbnb recently, which we still occasionally do. Water shoes, very, very handy. Down there is a DeWalt little air compressor. That one comes in very handy. These are air mattresses for the rooftop tent. They're personal size. We have 2 of them. And I'm not saying it's uncomfortable, but big ol' Americans like me could use a little extra cushioning. I'm just gonna put it out there. So we pick these up. They are very small. They inflate well. And you'll see the 2 sleeping bags up here. Like I said, I'm not gonna get those out, but that's where we store them. I thought about reducing this gap here, but I actually like being able to shove a paper towel roll in there and let Elsa breathe. Well, let's go over to this side. I have a bag full of cords. Yeah, there's jackets, good old reliable pee bottle. There's an IceCo battery pack that we use to run Elsa, and I'll explain how that works. So Elsa is plugged into IceCo's battery. IceCo's battery is plugged into the inverter of the 4Runner. So when we drive, we turn the inverter on. It recharges the battery pack. When we park, Elsa stays on. So if you go in for lunch, you don't need to constantly turn the fridge on and off. That's what works for us. Yeah, we got some games over there like a Rummy Cub, cards, and dominoes in there. This is my work in process tool bag because I'm one of those crazy people that has tools in Europe, at home in Alaska, and here. All right, this cabinet unit is completely homemade by Rebecca and myself, and we designed it for our needs, and desires. So what we wanted that lifetime table to lay flat on the floor next to our cook stove. That was a colossal mess for us. Everything was tipping over, so we had to solve that problem. And we got a little creative with it. Let's see here. There we go. A little bit of a false floor action here. And we have our cook stove. And back there, I have a stash of fishing reels. I'll break the camera if I try getting that out right now, but the false floor is very, very handy, or else I would not be able to utilize that space. Under here as well, this is a trash can for campsites. This is a shower house and changing station and toilet if you need it. Here is a 200-watt solar panel. Let's see here. Another water shoe. Let's go around back. I got some more junk to show you over here. Okay, so to make the most of the space, this little wedge shape here, we have an extension cord, fishing rods, resistance bands, and other long, narrow stuff that can fit well back there. So one quick note about this shower house and our toilet situation is we are between toilets right now. I know that sounds kind of weird, but we had the Boxio. It was nice. It took up a lot of space. It did the job. Had some very, very relieving bowel movements on that thing. That whole squatting action, it's real. It works. But it just took up a lot of space, and we have found ourselves going into the woods and with a dog bag and just bagging our poop and paper just like we would Lucy. So that is what works for now when we're in remote enough areas when you can cop a squat. This can also just be set up and you could do your business in there as well if there's people around. But we're still working out the scene for doing our business around people and not getting busted or arrested. Now it's time to take you into the rooftop tent here. I'm gonna do this one-handed, and it's probably not the best idea. All right, so you have 2 flies there. Yeah, this is going pretty good one-handed. Oh, the mattress does sometimes flip over on you, and you just need to bring it. Oops, shoot, I dropped the wide angle lens from my pocket camera. Okay, all right, so this is the space inside the rooftop tent. Very, very dark. You get a wonderful airflow. There's pouches up there. There's a light strip and USB over there. Very, very happy with it. It's provided us a great outlet for reconnecting with nature and having fun. I think we're at a point in the video where I'm going to do a time lapse and just get all of our camping gear out. Okay, well, that is about as much as you're going to get out of me for setting up camp. Let's show you around. Okay, so usually put the power station here, and it just works out well. Keep the pantry box right here. Obviously the fridge. We built this ourselves to fit our specific needs. I wouldn't mind making some type of a quick slide table or something. Can't do it here because that would interfere with the fridge, but somewhere where you could just have a table, quick and ready to go. But all in all, I would give you like build measurements for this thing, but it's just a bunch of 90-degree corners cut to the measurements that we had to work with. Our chairs, yes. We have, ironically, been a fan of Murdoch's chairs for a long time. And that's like a hardware, feed, and tack store in the Rockies, Mountain West area, Colorado, Montana, Idaho. We even have these types of, or these Murdoch's chairs in the expedition vehicle in Denny, and they have worked great. They're a little big, but they are comfortable. Yeah, solar panel blew down. We kind of liked this stove here. I'm not gonna waste too much time on it, but I like the fact of we have this griddle side and this side for boiling. And since this barbecue rides in the 4Runner all the time, we use these copper sheets to cook steaks on and whatever, and we can clean them up, and that way our entire vehicle does not smell like a barbecue. This is just your basic cooking stuff. We have saucepan, there's a skillet, there's a plastic collapsible dishwashing basin, propane. We got a little cutting mat, Ziploc baggies, a whole slew of utensils, so we can pretty much cook good meals while we're out camping. Is that it? Did I forget anything? Let me look at my phone. Okay, figured out what I forgot. We are between toilets and water bottles. When we left Kansas, we left the Boxio and a 5-gallon water jug there because we would like to play with something that would fit the dimensions a little bit better than the previous old green Walmart grade water bottle. Okay, a quick thought about the airbags. That's our asterisk on this bone stock build. We tow this travel trailer and I felt that airbags were very critical to keep the front wheels on the ground, which is where the majority of your braking and steering takes place. Those are two important items. But I will also say it has had some benefits as to how the 4Runner rides in terms of ride height, because obviously there's a rooftop tent, crossbars, and all the stuff in the back. So I have a tape measure. I have the the remote for the air compressor, and let's see how much lift we get off of this. Right now the airbags are at 5 pounds. Let me push my preset, and that puts them up to 25. Okay, so not a whole heck of a lot of lift comes from it, but it does definitely make the vehicle ride a little bit better. A quick note on these tires. I'm very impressed with them, and because we tow, we went with light truck 10-ply tires. These are Hancooks, and they are 275/70 17s, and they're as big of a tire as you can get onto the 5th gen 4Runner without any rubbing. Okay, I think that is now a wrap. I have remembered to cover everything without getting ridiculous and setting up all the nonsense stuff that you do not need to see. I hope you found this video educational, informative, and maybe a little bit entertaining and not so boring to watch. Appreciate you being here. Hit that subscribe button, follow our channel and our adventures. You never know where we're going to end up.